Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. A deep thunder-like sound suddenly appeared in the vast sky. Immediately, a bright light that caused one to be stunned flashed across the sky. In a flash, it appeared in the horizon. The rumbling explosion caused many experts along the way to raise their heads in shock. Soon after the bright light flashed across the sky, a monstrous evil aura suddenly spread across the sky from behind. A black light flew past. The monstrous evil aura caused many experts to be frightened. Even some of the sects did not dare to pay attention to it. Just a random wave of a hand by that kind of expert would likely eliminate the entire faction. The chasing conducted by such an expert was not something that they could observe. This fellow really doesn't give up. The bright light flashed through the sky. The figure inside paused momentarily and frowned upon sensing the murderous aura from behind. That figure was naturally Xiao Yan, who had fled after exchanging blows with Han Sho. However, he did not expect that the latter would actually continue to follow him. From the looks of it, the latter did not show any signs of giving up. Mr. Xiao Yang, there is still half a day's journey from this place to the Jiu realm. That fellow is catching up. Edo Tian, who was in Xiao Yang's hand, did his best to block the wind pressure from their great speed and cried out loud. Xiao Yang nodded slightly and frowned. The energy of the Tier 9 mysterious pill could only be described as terrifying. Currently, the interior of his body had already been damaged by the wild and violent energy, until it was extremely miserable. Even though Little Yi had already done its best to refine the energy, it was still a little insignificant. If it was not because of his strong body, his body might have already exploded from the energy. Despite this, it was clearly not a long-term solution. How would he escape from Han Sho if the energy from the Tier 9 mysterious pill was to injure his body? The both of you should prepare to leave first. The condition inside my body is quite bad. If I'm afraid the Han Sho will catch up soon if I bring the two of you along with me. One of you should be able to keep your life if you leave now. That fellow's target is me. It is likely that he won't chase you. Xiao Yang mused for a moment and spoke in a deep voice. Even with the support of the energy from the Tier 9 mysterious pill, his speed would be slower than Han Sho if he brought two people with him. I'll follow you. Yao Qian and Yao Ling spoke almost at the same time after Xiao Yang's words sounded. They were aware that it was most dangerous to follow beside Xiao Yang. However, they wished to leave the safest position to the other party. What a touching scene. However, there is no time for argument now. Xiao Yang frowned and said. Yao Qian and Yao Ling were stunned as he heard this. The latter immediately threw a palm onto Yao Qian's chest. A gentle force pushed the latter away from Xiao Yang. However, Xiao Yang did not stop her. With a wave of his sleeve, he sent Yao Qian flying through the sky. A voice was transmitted into the latter's ears, hurry up and leave. Yao Qian steadied his body in a miserable manner. His eyes were completely red as he looked at Xiao Yang duo flying into the distance. Without uttering any unnecessary words, he turned around and hurried in another direction. You are really decisive. Xiao Yang hugged Iso Ling's delicate waist. Pink flame wrapped around the both of them. Their speed suddenly soared. Yao Ling's face was a little flushed as her delicate waist was being tightly hugged by Xiao Yang. That cold frost on her face had also diminished slightly. She turned her head and looked at the face beside her. This was a face that was far from the handsome look of her brother Iso Tian. However, it caused her eyes to flicker. Given her cold and haughty nature, she had seldom felt any admiration for a person of the opposite gender during these years. This person was the only exception. The time which both parties had been in contact was quite short. Xiao Yang was serious and casual while he was. A beauty loves a hero. Regardless of how cold the beauty was, it was impossible for her to be an exception to this rule. Xiao Yang did not have the time to be bothered with the thoughts of the beauty in his embrace. At this moment, most of his thoughts were focused on suppressing and refining the out-of-controlled vast and mighty energy in his body. At the same time, he must maintain his speed. These various matters was quite a big test to him. Separate her. From far behind Xiao Yan, Han Shuo, who had a gloomy expression, quickly swept his eyes over Xiao Yang's and Yao Tian's back. Finally, he let out a cold snort and continued chasing after Xiao Yang. These members of the Yao clan, who had escaped, were completely useless to them. However, it was different when it came to Xiao Yang. The latter had the Qiu Shi ancient god jade in his hand. This was something the Han clan must obtain. I wish to see just how long you can last for. One party fled while the other chased in the sky. This continued for a couple of hours. During this period of time, the two parties had basically crossed half of the Central Plains. Although they had caught the attention of many experts along the way, no one dared to intervene in the face of Han Shuo's shocking aura. All they did was simply watch the both parties flying through the sky. Following the flow of time, Xiao Yang's condition had clearly become increasingly worse. The crystal-like seemingly endless energy gathered within the meridians of his body. It firmly sealed off the many meridians. Even though Little Yi was doing its best to refine the energy, there would be an endless amount of energy crystals continuously appearing. The energy crystals slowly swelled and a vague pain was felt in Xiao Yang's unusually tough meridians. The energy of a Tier 9 mysterious pill was actually this frightening. Mr. Xiao Yang. Yao Ling looked at Xiao Yang's miserable expression. Although the strength of her Do Qi was not very strong, her spiritual strength was quite powerful. Hence, she had also sensed that Xiao Yang's spiritual strength had become exhausted as it continued to weaken. If something becomes amiss later on, I will send you away. Xiao Yang forcefully braced his attention. Currently, his body was not only filled with external injuries, but the inside of his body was also a complete mess. It was already quite difficult for him to last until now. Yao Ling gently bit her lips. She suddenly extended her snow-white wrist and handed it to Xiao Yang. She softly said, "My constitution is a little unique. Hence, my blood possessed the effect of nourishing spiritual strength." Mr. Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang was immediately startled upon hearing this. His eyes glanced at the exquisite and attractive face of Yao Ling. The latter looked at him seriously. That appearance did not seem like she was lying. There is actually such a strange constitution, no wonder it is said that this lady might have a chance to step into the DI state spiritual strength. It is likely because of this constitution. A thought passed through Xiao Yang's mind. He did not utter anything unnecessary, as he bit on Yao Ling's wrist. His teeth pierced into the blood vessel. A great amount of bright red blood was sucked into Xiao Yang's mouth. Xiao Yang violently shuddered after the blood, which contained a little unusual sweetness, entered his mouth. The blood had turned into a mysterious energy immediately upon entering his mouth. It spread swiftly and surged towards the center of his brow. His originally exhausted spiritual strength was actually being wrapped by a faint blood light. A feeling that was fuller than when he was at his peak suddenly appeared. What mysterious blood! A sleek redness swiftly rose on Xiao Yang's face. Both of his eyes brightened. He could clearly sense that his soul was greedily devouring the blood. This was the first time he had ever felt such a sensation. My spiritual strength might advance further if I sucked her blood dry. A thought from an unknown source flashed across Xiao Yang's heart. It was quickly eliminated by Xiao Yang in the next instant. He looked at Yao Ling, who was gently biting her red lips while wearing a pale expression, and involuntarily slapped himself violently within his heart for the beast-like thought. He slowly relaxed his mouth and wiped off the blood from the corner of his mouth. After which he muttered in an apologetic manner, "Thank you very much." Yao Ling shook her head slightly. Her pretty eyes looked behind her as she pressed her eyebrows together and said, "That fellow has become faster." Xiao Yang's expression changed slightly upon hearing this. He discovered that the sound of rushing wind far behind had become increasingly deep. Clearly, Han Shuo had begun to feel impatient and had used some unknown method to increase his speed. "Hold tight." This place is already quite close to the Jiu clan. We will be safe once we arrive. Xiao Yan inhaled a deep breath of air. His eyes had become stern. The green-red wings on his back were flapped and his body turned into a lightning that swiftly hurried into the horizon. Brat. I will not give you the opportunity to seek refuge in the Jiu clan. Han Shou's face appeared extremely gloomy as he gave chase from behind. He did not expect Xiao Yang's speed to suddenly increase after having slowed for a moment. Immediately, the seal formed by his hands changed. Black dough chi erupted in a monstrous fashion, and turned into a black, but that was thousands of feet in size. A mouthful of essence blood was spat out. It adhered onto the bat. The bat flapped its wings. One could hear a swoosh sound as it completely vanished. This is bad. Xiao Yang's expression changed drastically the moment Han Shou's figure disappeared. He grabbed Yao Ling in his embrace and suddenly lowered his body. Kai. Xiao Yang's body had just descended when a blood glow rushed out from the space above his head. It brushed past his head as it flew past. Xiao Yang, where will you flee to? The space fluctuated and a dense-looking Han Shou broke out from it. His eyes were ferocious as he stared at Xiao Yang. The blood blade in his hand was swung and a huge blood glow, which was tens of thousands of feet in size, cut through the air. It had the might of shattering the land as it slashed onto Xiao Yang duo. The blood glow was rapidly magnified in Xiao Yang's eyes. His face was extremely gloomy. His shoulders shook and Little Yi appeared in a flash. A golden lightning dragon was quickly wiggling on Little Yi's arm. However, Xiao Yang was just about to use the strength of the 9 mysterious golden lightning as a final retaliation, when an elderly figure suddenly appeared in the space in front of him. A cry resounded from that figure. Trying to murder in the territory of my Jiu clan. Han Shou, you are really a little too arrogant. The figure which appeared in front of Xiao Yang was wearing green long robes. His hair was completely white. A smile hung on his fair-looking face, giving him a somewhat immortal-like feeling. Han Shou, you should restrain yourself now that you have reached the territory of the Jiu clan, after such a long chase. The green-robed old man smilingly looked at Han Shou, whose murderous aura filled the air, and laughed. From the way he spoke, it seemed that he had already sensed Xiao Yang being chased by Han Shou since a long time ago. Jiu Dao, the 3 immortals of the Jiu clan. Han Shou's expression was gloomy as he looked at the green-robed old man. A solemn expression surged onto his face. It was unexpected that he had ended up meeting such a troublesome person the moment he had arrived. My target is him. It has nothing to do with the Jiu clan. The green-robed old man, who was called Jiu Dao, smilingly shook his head upon hearing this. He said, ha ha, this won't do. Xiao Yang is considered half a member of the Jiu clan. It is impossible for me to hand him over to you. Han Shou, you should hurry up and leave. Fighting in this place is disadvantageous to you. Xiao Yang was startled after seeing Jiu Dao recognizing him upon sight. Since when did he become half a member of the Jiu clan? Little fellow, you have taken the opportunity to take Xuna's virginity back in the demonic flame realm. Don't tell me that you intend to deny it. Jiu Dao turned his head and spoke faintly, appearing as though he was aware of Xiao Yang's doubt. Xiao Yang widened his mouth. His face revealed a rare embarrassment. However, he quickly recovered and spoke in a deep voice, Elder, the reason I have come to the Jiu clan this time around is to inform your clan that the Yao clan had already been destroyed by the Han clan. The culprit behind the extermination of the Ling and Xia clans is also them. The smile on Jiu Dao's face diminished slowly. His eyes turned towards Han Shou and he softly said, you are indeed the ones behind it. This news was quite shocking to him. However, he did not feel any sense of disbelief. After all, they had already made some guesses after those incidents had occurred. However, they did not have the evidence and were unable to prove their guess. The thing that caused him to be furious was that these people had actually struck again. You are really full of nonsense. Relax, your Jiu clan will sooner or later meet the same fate as them. Han Shou laughed coldly, but did not deny the claim. I'm afraid that you do not have such a big appetite. Ji Dao frowned slightly. There was a chill surging within his voice. One's appetite is not simply shown by using words. Han Sho's laughed loudly. The bat wings behind him were flapped. The space fluctuated, and he directly appeared in front of Ji Dao. That blade was swung with a swoosh swoosh sound. A sharp blood-colored blade light engulfed Ji Dao. Han Sho. We have not exchanged blows for hundreds of years, but it seems that you have not made much improvement. If it is not because your 4 demon saints of the Han clan rely on your numbers, my Ji clan's 3 immortals will not fear you even a little. Ji Dao merely laughed faintly in the face of the unusually sharp attack from Han Sho. He clenched his hand and 100 feet large green rod appeared in his hand. The rod danced and the energy of this entire place was stirred. It turned into an endless number of ferocious rod shadows that collided with Han Sho's blade glow. Clang clang. The rod and blade clashed. An extremely shockingly sharp storm swept out from this seemingly ordinary clash. The space within radius tens of thousands of feet in size had been shaken until it shook intensely. Wild wind swept over the plains. Sand flew and rock moved. Xiao Yan held Yao Ling and swiftly pulled back. He landed on a mountain before swiftly sitting down. The energy of the Tier 9 medicinal pill had already filled his body to the brim. If he did not think of a way to refine it, his body would sooner or later end up exploding. A Tier 9 mysterious pill is indeed not something that one can randomly swallow. Xiao Yan laughed bitterly. This was the first time that he had been turned into such a miserable state by a medicinal pill. Moreover, it was also the first time that he had a headache over having too much energy within his body. The seal formed by Xiao Yan's hands changed as he sat down. Little Yi immediately came out from within his body. It rapidly turned into a fire cauldron and wrapped his entire body within it. The purifying demonic lotus flame was finally completely unleashed. It surged into Xiao Yan's body from all directions and swiftly refined the seemingly real-like energy within his body, which had already turned into crystals. Without being attacked by an enemy, Xiao Yan was finally able to completely focus his mind on using all his strength to refine the energy crystals within his body. The effect of this all-out force had clearly brought about quite a great effect. The frightening strength of the purifying demonic lotus flame was once again unleashed. The crystals, which filled his veins, had swiftly turned into waves of torrent-like pure energy under this continuous refinement. It whistled and galloped within Xiao Yan's body. His meridians, which had been fully blocked, had once again become loose. Swish swish. The endless vast and mighty energy was slowly circulated within Xiao Yan's meridians. Finally, it turned into powerful Do Qi, which merged into Xiao Yan's limbs. Immediately, a feeling of being completely filled once again rose within his heart. Moreover, the Do Qi within his body had vaguely showed signs of slowly soaring. The effect of the Tier 9 mysterious pill was slowly being unleashed at this moment. While Xiao Yan was making full use of his time to refine the shocking medicinal pill energy within his body, the battle in the sky was also becoming increasingly intense. Ji Dao and Han Sho were the top experts from their respective clans. Moreover, they were at the 7-star Do Shin class. The destructive force, when they fought, was naturally earth-shaking. However, it was unusually difficult for a victor to be decided. Damn it, why have I ended up meeting this old ghost? This is the territory of the Ji clan. Any large-scale battle will definitely attract the Ji clan's attention. At that time, if the other 2 Ji clan's 3 immortals were to come, he would likely have difficulty even retreating in one piece. A blood light that was tens of thousands of feet in size rose from the large ghost blade. However, it collapsed after being gently touched by Ji Qing's green rod. Han Sho's brow was tightly knitted. I must end this battle as soon as possible. A fierce glow flashed across Han Sho's eyes. The seal formed by his hands suddenly changed. That blood blade in his hand escaped and a blood light erupted. Immediately, the blade swelled to 10,000 feet. The enormous blood blade was suspended in the sky with an evil aura that seemed to have a form gathered around it. Blood light surged over the blade and his soul fluttered under this blade. Blood god tearing sky. The evil aura agglomerated over the blood blade. Han Sho's eyes became cold. The blood blade rushed downwards and a deafening sonic boom rumbled over the sky. The space within 100,000 feet collapsed as the blood blade passed. 100,000 feet large deep gully had also appeared on the plains tens of thousands of kilometers below. The gully was not wide, but it was deep to the point of appearing bottomless. Ji Yudao's expression became grave as the blood blade rushed downwards. The green rod in his hand swelled rapidly before violently colliding with the blood blade. Bang! An indescribable frightening wave swept over the sky. The plains, which was tens of thousands of kilometers large, had sunk by dozens of feet. Most of the mountains had collapsed and turned into dust. The destructive force from a fight between 7-star Doshings was actually this terrifying. Swoosh! The blood blade flew out and its size rapidly shrunk. Finally, it swiftly shot towards the direction where Han Sho's body was located. However, the blood blade was about to touch that figure when the latter suddenly disappeared. After image. Ji Yudao's eyes suddenly shrunk. He rotated his gaze, only to see that Han Sho had appeared in a flash on the mountain in the distance where Xiao Yan was at. That earth-shaking attack from earlier was merely a distraction that Han Sho had used. His aim was still to capture Xiao Yan. Rat, I have said that you cannot escape. Han Sho's body appeared in front of Xiao Yan in a ghost-like fashion. He grabbed with his hand and the fire cauldron collapsed. However, Xiao Yan's tightly shut eyes were suddenly opened, just as the former's hand was about to land on the top of his head. An aura that was many times stronger than earlier surged towards the sky. Dark clouds immediately churned and there was a faint thunder resounding over the sky. 6-star Do Xing. You have actually refined a Tier 9 mysterious pill. Han Sho's expression suddenly changed after detecting Xiao Yan's stronger aura. Murderous intent rose within his eyes. He not only did not slow, but has become even faster. Have a taste of this. Xiao Yan did not reveal the slightest fear in the face of this fatal strike by Han Sho. He let out a cold laughter. Suddenly, golden dragon symbols surfaced on his arm. The thunderbolts flashing within the dark clouds in the sky dimmed after these dragon symbols appeared. It was as though they had met something terrifying. Something's wrong. Han Sho glanced at the golden dragon symbol on Xiao Yan's arm. Without knowing the reason, Han Sho felt a little unease rising within his heart. However, it was already not in time for him to stop his attack at this moment. His palm wind became increasingly sharp, as he ruthlessly smashed violently down from Xiao Yan's head. Go! A death god-like palm was rapidly being magnified in Xiao Yan's eyes. In the next instant, his arm suddenly trembled and the golden dragon symbol suddenly erupted. Finally, it turned into a golden lightning that shot out from his finger at a speed, which was difficult to detect with his naked eye. Kai! The golden lightning had collided with Han Sho's palm in an instant. Immediately, the sharp wind on the latter's palm collapsed. The lightning easily penetrated through his palm. Bang! A great force that could not be resisted came striking at Han Sho the moment the lightning struck his palm. His body flew backwards. A continuous stream of blood shot out from him. This? Ji Yudao, who had swiftly rushed over, was startled as he watched this scene. His eyes were filled with shock and uncertainty, as he looked at the golden lightning that flashed from Xiao Yan's finger and struck its target. He could sense an energy that caused even his heart to palpitate from it. Bastard, what is that thing? Han Sho's body was stabilized in the air in a somewhat miserable manner. He looked at the charred black bloody hole on his hand. His defense from earlier was completely useless. If that strike was directly aimed at his head, it was likely that even he would be seriously injured. Swoosh! Intense sound of rushing wind was suddenly transmitted from a short distance away, just as Han Sho's expression had changed. Clearly, a large group of people was swiftly hurrying over. Xiao Yang, remember this. I will definitely make you repay for this 10 times over. Han Sho clenched his teeth with great unwillingness. He also understood that he had lost his last opportunity. Immediately, he let out a vicious roar towards Xiao Yan before his body turned into a ray of black light that rushed into the distance. Xiao Yan indifferently looked at Han Shuo, who had disappeared into the distance. Only then did he slowly lift his arm. At this moment, his arm no longer possessed as feeling of the 9 mysterious golden lightning's strength. Even his current self was only able to barely control it. A shocked expression rose within Yao Ling's pretty eyes, as she stood a short distance from Xiao Yang and watched Han Shuo turning around and flee. Clearly, she did not expect that Xiao Yang was actually able to frighten off such an expert. Mr. Xiao Yang, have you refined the Tier 9 mysterious pill? Yao Ling could not resist opening her mouth and asked. Being an alchemist, she was naturally well aware of just how terrifying a Tier 9 mysterious pill was. Hence, it was a little difficult for her to imagine that Xiao Yang was actually able to refine it within this short 10 minutes. How can it be so easy? I have merely refined a portion of it. Xiao Yang shook his head. A wild joy rose within his eyes. It was unexpected that the Tier 9 mysterious pill was actually this terrifying. He had only just refined a portion of it, but it had already allowed his to progress from the advanced level 5-star Doxing class to the 6-star Doxing class. No wonder even Han Shuo greatly coveted such miraculous pill. If I completely refine the Tier 9 mysterious pill, I might perhaps be able to steadily reach the intermediate level 6-star Doxing. Xiao Yang made a brief estimation. The joy within his eyes involuntarily became denser. He must completely refine the medicinal strength within his body once this matter comes to an end. Ha ha, it looks like I have intervened for no reason this time around. Jiyu Dao slowly walked through the air and finally landed beside Xiao Yang. His eyes swiftly swept over the golden dragon, which had swiftly scattered from his hand. He smiled without a change in his expression. Elder Jiyu Dao really knows how to joke. If it is not because of your quick intervention, my body might have already exploded from having too much medicinal strength. Xiao Yang hurriedly stood up, cupped his hands together and laughed. Oh? What kind of medicinal pill is it? Even you cannot endure it. Jiyu Dao's expression changed slightly upon hearing this. A Tier 9 mysterious pull. In order to escape from Han Shuo, I have no choice but to swallow it. Xiao Yang laughed. Tier 9 mysterious pill. Jiyu Dao's mouth twitched slightly. He smiled bitterly and shook his head. It must be said that Xiao Yang was really blessed to the point where even he was envious. Even Jiyu Dao had never enjoyed a medicinal pill of this tier. Elder Jiyu Dao. The distant rushing wind sound had swiftly approached, while Xiao Yan and Jiyu Dao chatted. Dozens of figures swiftly hurried over. Their eyes were extremely startled as they swept over the completely messy destroyed plains below. Finally, they hurried towards the mountain where Xiao Yang trio were located. They landed one after another and respectfully spoke to Jiyu Dao. Xiao Yang's eyes randomly swept over that group of people. He was stunned to find that the leader was actually someone he was familiar with. It was Ling, whom he had some grudge against back then. While Xiao Yang had discovered Ling, the latter's eyes had also glanced at him. Immediately, his expression became a little unnatural. Although he had been in the Jiyu realm, he had heard a great deal about the various incidents related to Xiao Yang in the Central Plains during these years. Every single one of them could let him look up to Xiao Yang. However, over a decade ago, this current giant-like existence on the Do-Chi continent did not even have the ability to fight him. The world was indeed changing far too rapidly. Elder Jiyu Dao, we have hurried over as fast as we could after detecting the activity here. May I know, Ling seemed to be the leader of the group. He looked respectfully at Jiyu Dao and asked. Everything is fine now. The person who have come this time around is one of the 4 demon saints of the Han clan, Han Shuo. Jiyu Dao waved his hand and spoke in a faint voice. The expressions of Ling and the rest changed drastically upon hearing this. His face contained some shock. The 4 demon saints of the Han clan were the top experts from the Han clan. Their status was similar to the Jiyu clan's 3 immortals in the Jiyu clan. Other than the clan head and a few other individuals, no one could be compared with them. Just look at yourself. Xiao Yan is quite a lot younger than all of you. Yet, he is able to easily survive while being chased by Han Sho. Earlier, he had even nearly managed to break Han Sho's arm. If the younger generation of the Jiyu clan can produce such a person, our Jiyu clan will definitely prosper in the future. How would the Han clan dare to bully us? Jiyu Dao frowned and reprimanded in a deep voice after seeing the change in their expressions. Understood. Elder is right. Even Ling did not dare to argue after being reprimanded by Jiyu Dao. He hurriedly nodded in agreement. The corner of his eyes secretly glanced at Xiao Yan. However, he could only laugh bitterly and shake his head within his heart. Someone like Han Sho was basically like a legend in their hearts. Yet, Xiao Yan was not only able to successfully escape from his hand, but was even able to injure and force him back. Regardless of how proud he was in his heart, Ling had no choice but to admire this ability of Xiao Yan. Elder Jiyu Dao should not overly praise me. If it is not because of your intervention, Xiao Yan might not be able to stand here in one piece. Xiao Yan felt helpless at seeing Jiyu Dao using him as an example. His expression quickly became serious as he spoke in a deep voice. Elder Jiyu Dao, I wonder if you can allow me to meet clan head Jiyu Yuan. The matter of the Yao clan being annihilated is not a small one. The Han clan is definitely up to something. What? Ling and the others by the side, who had just stood up, had a drastic change in their expressions. Both of their eyes were filled with disbelief as they looked at Xiao Yan. The Yao clan was actually also eliminated. This matter is indeed extremely critical. If you have not come and inform us, we will likely not know what have happened to the Yao clan even until now. It seems that even the clan chief is unable to sense some of the tricks of the Yao clan. Jiyu Dao's face was grave as he mentioned this matter. He glanced at the look of despair on Yao Ling's pretty face. He softly said, it seems that we will have to invite the clan heads of the Yang and Lei clan. The action of the Han clan this time around is clearly targeting all the ancient clans. If they did not do anything, it was likely that they would all fall into the demonic hands of the Han clan. Xiao Yang slowly nodded. This action of the Han clan had clearly placed them on the opposing side of all the ancient clans. However, no one knew who would have the last life. Jiyu Dao did not say anything more, as he was aware of the seriousness of the matter. After sending Ling and the others back to Jiyu City, he immediately led Xiao Yang and Yao Ling to swiftly enter the Jiyu realm without stopping. The news had expectedly stirred a huge commotion after it was spread into the Jiyu realm. All of the experts within the Jiyu clan were stirred by the commotion. The Yao clan had unknowingly been destroyed by the Han clan. This technique had already exceeded the ability of the Jiyu clan. Could it be that the Han clan was really planning some schemes? The many elders from the Jiyu clan had all arrived in a hall with an extremely grave atmosphere. On the leader's seat was Jiyu Yuan, whom Xiao Yang had met once before. His expression was extremely deep. At a glance, he appeared just like an ordinary person. However, at Xiao Yang's current strength, he was vaguely able to sense just what kind of terrifying strength was hidden within this body. This person was a true peak expert of the current Do-Chi continent. There were 3 old men, clothed in white on Jiyu Yuan's left. Jiyu Dao was amongst them. It was possible for Xiao Yang to sense a mighty aura that was not inferior to Jiyu Dao from them. It was likely that they were the other 2 of the Jiyu clan 3 immortals, who possessed an extremely high status. Xiao Yang saw some familiar faces from the many elders' seats. However, the gazes that these familiar faces used to look at him were a little complicated. When Xiao Yang had arrived at the Jiyu realm back then, he merely had the strength of an ordinary Dozun. Although he was quite strong, it was difficult for the Jiyu clan to hold him in high regard. However, within a short few years, the Dozun from back then had leaped into becoming a Doxing existence. Moreover, he was a genuine 6-star Doxing. There was only a mere 1-star gap when compared to the Jiyu clan 3 immortals. On the right side of Jiyu Yuan were some of the younger generations of the Jiyu clan. An elegant and beautiful figure sat at the front. Those bright eyes were focused on Xiao Yan the moment he appeared. Her eyes roamed gently, giving her a gentle and alluring appearance. This beauty was naturally Zun. Xiao Yang greets clan head Jiyu Yuan. Xiao Yang did not dare to be the least bit disrespectful towards this peak existence in the world. He cupped his hands together and greeted respectfully. Yao Ling beside him also bowed respectfully. Ha ha. Within less than a decade, you have actually reached such a level. There is hope for the revival of the Xiao clan. Xiao Xian will perhaps be extremely pleased if he knows of this. Jiyu Yuan looked at the young figure within the hall. A smile surged on his face as he nodded. His voice was full of praise. This had caused many elders to quietly laugh bitterly. There had not been a single person in the Jiyu clan who had received such an evaluation by the clan head during all these years. Additionally, you should call me uncle. Although my seniority has far surpassed yours by many times, she is ultimately my daughter. A flush quickly flashed across Zun's pretty face after she heard Jiyu Yuan's words. Many of the younger generation from the Jiyu clan below were greatly startled. By speaking in this way, Jiyu Yuan had seemed to accept the relationship between Xiao Yang and Zun. Thank you, Uncle Jiyu Yuan. Xiao Yang also understood the meaning in Jiyu Yuan's words. It seemed the matter of him having taken Zun's virginity did not escape from the sharp eyes of these old cunning foxes. Immediately, he rejoiced a little within his heart. Fortunately, his current strength could be considered amongst the top even within this Jiyu clan. Otherwise, it was likely that this matter would not be resolved with such simplicity. Would the Jiyu clan hand Zun, whom they viewed as the greatest treasure in the clan, to a mediocre person? Tell us about the matter of the Yao clan. Jiyu Yuan smiled and waved his hand. His eyes swept over Xiao Yang, finding him increasingly pleasant to look at. Only such an outstanding young man was worthy of his daughter. Xiao Yang's face became grave as the important matter was brought up. He exchanged glances with Yao Ling beside him. After musing for a moment, he suddenly asked, "May I know if uncle had heard of the so-called Tunling clan?" Crack! The sound of cups shattering sounded continuously within the hall the moment Xiao Yang's words sounded. The many elders lifted their heads abruptly. Their eyes stared intently at Xiao Yang. Those eyes actually had some fear within them. Xiao Yang's heart sunk after seeing the reaction of these elders. Just what was the origin of this Tunling clan? Even a clan as strong as the Jiyu clan was so terrified of them. This video will end here.